We back and we better.
Nobody holds a good opinion of a man who holds a low opinion of himself. Mark Twain. 5th century used to be Corby, but it was in fact Anthony Trott.
Blush. Blush.
I'll sleep easier, detective, knowing a man of your intelligence is on the case. I'll leave you to your picnic, Mr. Kinney.
No, I have a job, for God's sake. I can't just drop everything every time you get sick. I can't take much more of this, Mother. Look, I have tried to tell you, and you never listen. You never do. I can't. No. Walter, I have to go. Goodbye.
You alright? What'll get to you?
That's a lovely outfit. Why don't you spend the rest of the evening? That's right. Go to her. Get out. Just go to her.
A police chief told the press today they are still looking for clues to the brutal killing of a woman now identified as Helen Kimmel at Harry's Royal Grill. Investigations are continuing.
Helen Kimmel. Disability nice thing. Thank you, Jason.
Kimmel is a stroke. We've already turned him over. There's nothing here. That kid, Tony Rico, swears Kimmel was at the movies. He's the offender.
Hi there, Mr. Kimmel. How's it going? Going okay, thanks. Detective speaking. Who's asking me some questions? Oh, Tony, you just keep giving them the same answer. I got you a special treat today. Disappointing me, Mr. K. It's all a question of who you know and who you trust. How's your breakfast? One of your frankfurters. You got it. And give me some cheese with that. Sure thing, Mr. K. And a big slice of that chocolate banana cake.
Are you totally out of your fucking mind?
Ellie Bright! Ellie Bright! Don't dare deny it!
It's not worth it, I.
I fucking had it. I didn't sign up for this. But at that moment, I think I really wanted her to. Walter, you're not that guy.
Hi there. Remember me?
Whoa! How did he finish my thing?
To thank Mrs. Jackson for the party.
She loved us. So what brings you up here?
Oh, you know, I like spending the city with
What?
You're my car, I'm not yours.
He's too busy stuff.
Here I am. So your wife was at work? I remember you saying that she worked on Saturdays.
Yeah, it's her busiest day. She sells houses and opens.
I'm gonna jump on the bed again. I don't even care. I'm gonna jump on the bed.
So this is where we are.
Jumping on the bed.
Oh, yes, yes.
We moved in year after year.
How long ago?
Devon, sit your little ass down.
4 years ago now. Yeah.
Kids?
Nope. Not yet.
We're moving soon. Still the village. But, a place of my own. Time to grow up.
So it's cracked up to be. I wouldn't rush it.
No, honestly, we'll just slow down. Saw a lot in these past 5 years.
Wow. You're making me jealous.
Oh no, I'm not special. Grass is always greener. Huh? Where do you think he's going?
What will you be doing tonight?
Chilling at a little club off McDougal called Molly's. You should come along sometime. I'm there almost every night.
Maybe one day I will.
So good to see you.
You too.
How long did she stay?
I don't know. Not very long.
Why, left her? I was right, wasn't I? Admit it. Admit it.
Yeah, Abby's fine.
Admit
We'll catch her
it.
right now. We're going out. We'll be back. I promise. But this can't go on. This has to end. Are you looking for anything in particular? Yes. I'm looking for a place called the Living City with Frank Lloyd Wright. Think you can handle that stuff? Sure. As I thought, I don't have it. I do have a copy of Lloyd Wright's Disappearing City. I've got that. In fact, I have a 1932 first edition. You try to find it. You want me to order it for you? Yes. I would. Thanks. next door. So you must be Murray Kimmel. What is it to you? I heard your wife died recently. You were murdered. Sorry. Found the killer? No. Well, I hope they find the man who's killed him. So do I. Thank you, sir.
And it's real, real good.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Detroit Lions. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. The wait is finally over. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
And I think we're all eager to see how this offense responds because we know this is a big spot. National TV game to start the season. The whole league and the whole country watching this one. Last year, though, the Packers, the Bears, neither one of them did a whole lot offensively. A 10-3 final. Let's see if the...
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Bird to return. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
New year, new stadium, new team, baby.
So now the Lions go on offense in a great starting spot. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
You hear y'all talking about our Super Bowl win, man?
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 45 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Matt Prater for the point after.
You ain't going defeated this season.
It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown.
He wants to take it to the left, coach. I think it's to the left. Take it to the left, then. Take it to the left, then.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. And now the Lions defensive starters.
Mike Daniels continues to get better and better with each year. A nice run stopper inside.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now it's Bird on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together.
Stop the yelling.
Galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. So in the Bear territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They run the counter. Akers. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd and a couple. Stafford, and he's gonna go down. He's sacked back at the 24. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throw caught here by Bird. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's got it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that 1st down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game. That's
going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They come out here in the eye. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On second down now. Akers. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. With his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now 14-0. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Prater now set to kick it away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14 and
10:41. You want the chicken?
Leads evaporate and quickly. So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the off.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. From the 38, Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
You. Tight dog. Check. Lucky. Middle. Kill. Here we go.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. first down, a run with Cohen. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting. And
it'll be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Devon Kennard came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He's got Burton here. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They have the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 4th down, Matt Nagy willing to settle for 3. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Plenty to look forward to in that early window, one being a noontime start up in Green Bay. A big one for the Packers as they'll square off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then, more good stuff to follow later in the afternoon. One good one being under the dome in Indy, where it'll be the Colts taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Sunday night between the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
48, 180, 45. Easy alert. Check 45, come on. Check.
Hey, box drop, box drop.
Watch the run, watch the run. Good stop, baby. That's big stop.
Check 37, check 37.
From the red zone now, Stafford. James has got it, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know you feel that.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again on second down. Stafford. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Let's go, fellas.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On second down, Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
His pass caught at the 4. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They run. It's Johnson. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Johnson kept out of the end zone on 4th down. And the Chicago defense able to come up with a goal line stand. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles with the 3 interceptions, he's got to be upset. On the other hand, they're still winning this game.
So how does he take care of the ball the rest of the game? That's what his teammates are interested in, because they pick things up for him throughout. You got to look over the defensive side, the kicking game. Those guys have made it work for him. Now his goal, not mess up anything else down the stretch.
Yeah, forget about those 3 picks. Move on. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 36, Stafford, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed, near the goal line, on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Trubisky will throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Past the 20. It's caught. Jones. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
To the air again, Stafford. Buying time to his left. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock down, but around to bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd and goal, Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, as one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the
Russian people.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Prater on to add the extra point.
Pass it down, nigga.
And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Here's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 73 yards. And the Bears get a bit closer. When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you're still thinking about playing keep away.
Everybody, you gotta get a beat and turn that TV down or whatever that is.
You're just thinking first downs.
Yeah, that's cool. Be fall.
First downs, they can't touch the ball.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
It's a gain of 34. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10.
Shouldn't have been driving in that motherfucking stall.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Play action. Stanford. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing on third down, Stanford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time. Looking at week one, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there
You
comes
see
a
her?
little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
An old ass man too.
Like they're going to protect it here in this one. Extra point good by Prater, and that will make this a 19-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Goddamn daughter.
Short boot, taking it to 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tackle and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points,
that's caught inside the 20. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. 51 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On third down, they go Montgomery. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off play action. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
On 3rd down, Stafford. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A big gain of 31 on third down. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Now that's a nice play. You got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop?
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
They probably just want to put this one behind them. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Trubisky to throw. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then against the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Stafford going to throw it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Be quiet.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Hey, Orvis, you ready for that?
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time. It's a
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes fans were watching this one, everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Detroit, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Why you doing that, baby? Why you doing that?
What is this? A bedroom? What the hell? Is who even here? I really like this job.
Moving on. Vamos a sacar de aquí. ¿Ok?
Por el amor de Dios, el Señor es contigo. Si lo tocan, morirán. Nosotros no vimos nada. Demasiado. Ya saben demasiado.
We have to get her out.
Disrespect me, man. Dying what? Alright, eat the other stuff.
Who is she? Her name's Ana Maria. She needs to have a lot of release. What happened?
She's trying nothing out of her man.
This is unbelievable. Quiero ir al sótano. ¿Dónde está la cámara, Ramón?
Está en la camioneta.
Igual, necesito la cámara.
Gina.
¿Qué? I'm gonna check the box,
Look,
okay?
Gina, we don't know what else is down there. We should stick together.
I'll be fine.
Check to see if he has a car. Hazme un día, ¿entiendes? Jill, don't go far. I mean, I'm asking some questions.
If we don't take care of him, we can have him. That's okay. Where is your mother? Don't worry, I'll let you in. We can't leave yet, but we'll find a way out of here. Hungry? Gina? Jill? Gina? Jill?
What? Hi, you. Hey, Brian, use some of that food. I took your chicken, so you got is rice and broccoli.
Let the smoking go big up the plate.
Hay unas restricciones. No sabemos si Ana María es la única acá. No sabemos si hubo más gente, no sabemos por qué tampoco.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
No, you didn't just shove all that food in your mouth just so you could...
2 teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. T.Y. Hilton, nobody to beat. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
This is Mack on the counter. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down. That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
Brissett now. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And now it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a top 5 unit right now against the pass in the league. In fact, they sit at number 5.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton once again the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play,
right?
Yeah, right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. The first carry now. This is Johnson. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Throwing is Stafford. Finding some room in midfield. That'll be taken in by Demir Bird. And finally brought down at the 43. They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19 and an unlikely first down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
54 much.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Johnson. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Ty Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throw right sideline here is complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's got Rodgers. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 40.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. On third down. Brissett got it complete to Rodgers. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. They run the counter. Akers. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd? Stafford now to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
54.
From the gun, here's Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So that's going to push him back half the distance.
Ready? Lady!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll get this into the hands of Bird.
Let's go, boys! Let's go!
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
23! Hey, what's that? Check Mike 54.
From the 50, Stafford. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking. So you don't...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Fighter for the extra point. And that pushes.
You coming in the kitchen, baby?
the lead up to 11. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Back, back, back.
A run by Mack to start the drive. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it. It's Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They'll run here with Mack. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you can...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now Prater to add the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A chance for us to look at the Lions defense again. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They run the draw play with Mack. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Gets around him. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now a first down throw, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
He can't hang. He's not.
Throwing again. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
You ain't going nowhere.
They run the counter. Akers. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Another try after the first down sack. Brissett. He completes this one to Mack. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And that one all tied as they host the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
So here are the Lions to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They run the counter. Akers. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. 25 yards the pickup there and also a 1st down. Looked like they picked a heck of a time to run the counter.
And we've been saying that in this great game of football probably since we started playing. Anytime you get guys thinking you're going to go one way and you hit back the opposite side, it's a great chance it can turn into the type of play we just saw there, a big gainer.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Easy.
To throw again. Stafford. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Throwing deep for God. And this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
54's
Out of the gun, Stafford. Throw caught here by Bird. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Demir Bird, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Prater on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
3rd and 1. Here's Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fielded at the 20. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, watch that, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay.
Check 13.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Set hut. Hut. 51. Mike 51. 51.
To throw, Brissett. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Elliott good on the extra point, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. On second down, it's Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run the counter. Akers, he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action. Stafford. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Stafford complete to Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
It's our time. Check,
They'll try the left side. Akers, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
He goes set, lady. Mike's by 4. He don't know no better.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give, right side. Akers. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's telling me.
From the 38, Brissett firing quickly here, and that's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Brissett to throw on first. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Brissett. This goes to Mack on the check down. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Brissett, throw complete there. Rodgers. Now the ball comes loose, and this is scooped up by the Lions. 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Keep getting those touchdowns.
And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Brissett. And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Brissett going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He's going to let it fly. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, Akers. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Johnson. And some room to work. 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.